Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today I have a really special treat for you all, and I'm finally able to put out my Excel sheet with some of my calculations and things like that in it. It's not my whole thing. I've got like 30, 40 sheets now, and I like to release them separately so they're easy to digest and for different people and things like that. But I'm definitely going to be eventually trying to get them out as much as I can so that people can go around and test them out. And I hope you guys enjoy this one. It's going to be a lot of fun to play around with. I'm going to show you on the video here today how it works and how you can use it. And then you guys will be able to use it yourselves. And I'll give you all the details towards the end. Let's do it. Okay, so before we jump into the video, I do have a few things to say. Firstly, I have co-founded a new DAO called EmergentDAO. Now, what these guys are striving to do is they're putting together a community of content creators, community members, developers, and everything like that. And there's going to be a lot of different communication strategies, theory crafting. It's going to be a community where gamers can come together in the crypto gaming space, learn more about different types of games and things like that, and get better at their respective games and get to the top of their level. All right, it's very competitive and community focus driven setup, and there's going to be lots of different creators as well. I'm going to be focused in Illuvium personally. There's a few other big names in there as well, and I'm going to leave the link down for the application for that in the description down below. There is a Google form you need to fill out because the Discord is going into beta, and they want it to be a really tight-knit community. Okay, so that is going to be awesome. Also, as always, I'm a part of the Shiny Shards Guild, so please join that. The link is also down in the description for that. And I always love chatting with everyone in there. It is so much fun. Everyone is so awesome, and it's a great family. So I'm not going to make this Excel sheet exclusive to either of them, just so we're clear. Nothing like that. But here is what we're looking at. Now, I know it took me a while to get to this, and I said 500 likes between those other two videos, and you guys hit that quite some time ago. But I've made it up to you. I've added a few upgrades to this that are going to make it quite interesting. Now, this video is going to be as light as I can make it. I'm going to leave it to you guys to figure it out a little bit, but I'll isolate some of the major rules and I'll talk about the little upgrades I've made. So please go watch the previous videos if you're really unsure, but there are a few upgrades. Firstly, anything with a blue box, you can edit. There's only 2 exceptions to this rule, and I'll cover them in a second. Anything with a blue box is there for you to edit. I will go through the exceptions first, actually. The first big one is this green box here. You can change the name to whatever you want. You can make it like Hoggers or something. I don't know, that sounds like it's probably a bad word. I have it as custom, let's put custom gamer, and that will actually change it in the other section too. You see how this is custom gamer? That will become whatever this is. You can put Scoriox here. Maybe I'll leave that when I upload it. So you can put in your own thing and you can set up your custom setup. So how many hours you think you'll be spending and how much money you think you'll be spending per hour. Now, a lot of this is speculation. As always, this is not financial advice and I'm not a financial advisor, but you guys know that it's speculative. Like maybe you'll only need to spend $10 in every hour or $5. We don't know that yet, but it'll give you the opportunity to change that when you're ready. At the moment, I like to leave it to 30. The other boxes are pretty major. So you got the T1 to T4 quantity. That's the quantity of lands. So all these calculations at the moment are based on every land being available. So if you really want to look at after the first land sale, kind of what we're looking at, you can just copy this and paste it there. Okay, that's why I've put it there so that it's easier to do. Control Z goes and undoes that, okay? So otherwise you're gonna have to remember it yourself. I don't have it anywhere else. Sorry about that. But you can mess around with these numbers as much as you want. I'm just trying to give you the tools here to know how to use this thing, okay? It's a powerful device I've created, but it really only works if you can understand it. And I know that's quite difficult. So feel free to shoot me questions. I'm expecting to get a lot of questions about this, so try and be patient with me, please. These two here, a lot less important than you might think, but just try and put in the updated price if you can. Starting players, this one's a pretty major one, but I've got it multiplying on all the spreadsheets to calculate that increment. So try not to change any of that stuff. Just try to change the starting amount. In my videos, I believe I use 125,000 or something. I used 312,500 here just because I wanted to reach 10 million players in my last number, okay? So you guys will start to see that sort of come out. Basically, what this is telling us is total. Yes, that's the total revenue at 10 million players with these statistics, which I would still consider quite conservative, but they really ramp up. You're looking at about $15 million. You can see that at the very start, it's about 770K, and it's only 1.2 million or so after it doubles. So it's not double the amount. That's because the competitive players do not go up linearly. So I've set this all up intentionally so that it makes sense to me in the way I've analyzed the players that could be playing this game. Now, the only other exception to the rule is these numbers here. I've had to make them really complex because of the way I wanted to build this calculator, but you'll see these numbers here look quite random. In the formula at the top here, whoops, don't know what happened there. Look at the formula there quickly. Basically, in that box, it's 0.35, which is 35%, okay? So what I'm looking at is 35%. If you want to change those numbers, you can. All you have to do is you have to go to this box and you have to change 0.35 to say 0.4, all right? Although I think they all kind of have to make sense. So if you're adding 5% to this one, I think you have to take 5% away from the other ones or it could break. So these numbers were curated, as I said in my previous videos, by a new to it all. He did some really good analysis and research into where he received these numbers, and mine are obviously extremely close to them. So personally, I think if you can try and stick to those numbers that I've got there for this part of the spreadsheet, I definitely think you should, okay? So this is the one thing that you can change if you really want to mess with it, but I don't recommend it. So just know that you could start breaking the calculator and things, which is fine. I mean, you can re-download it. Doesn't bother me, I guess. This one you can change to whatever you want. The competitive players. How many players you think will be spending 12 hours every day, let's say 12 hours and $30 every hour, every single day on the game? This number you can change. Again, it's a blue box. You can also change these numbers here with the dollars. These two at the top obviously shouldn't change. Scholars and free-to-play grinders don't spend any money. Managers' initial investment, you can mess around with that. It won't actually shift the numbers that much if I'm telling you the truth. It's the lowest one here at 24 million. And then you've got competitive and stuff, and these are kind of the big ones. If you think it'll cost more for a gameplay loop, you can start messing around with those numbers and see what happens. It's up to you. That's the thing. You guys have the freedom to do all this. Again, another thing you guys should be aware of is the charts that are in here are basically just curating all of these details here. So unfortunately, I haven't quite put in an exact dollar value. You might have to do some of that maths yourself. I probably should have, but basically what this is saying is for 10 million players, you're going to be receiving $1,800 per token that you've got staked, okay, in the staking section. So if you, like, I have 20 tokens, you just want to know what number it is, I'll be putting out those sorts of calculators later. They've got a lot more bells and whistles to them, so definitely stay tuned, and please don't forget to like and subscribe down below. I really appreciate it. If you want more people to see this and get involved with staking and everything else, definitely check this out. You're gonna want to see it. But yeah, so you can just be like 10 times that is what, $17,000. Not too bad. You do whatever it is you need to, and that kind of tells you that. But like, if you really thought about it, 10 times that is 30 tokens. Now you got to calculate 30 tokens worth of. It's a whole thing. You guys that know me well know I could go on a rant about that for ages. Okay, so again, as I said, anytime you update any of the numbers at the top and the variables and things like that, all of this will update. And you guys should, this chart is relatively straightforward. It's just telling you how many tokens you need to play the game as per what you've put in. And as you guys can see, Scoriox up here, which is just my custom one. I'll change that back so it's a bit less confusing. There you go, custom. You can see up here that the orange line is your custom line. So if you put in that you want to play, let's say a full week, 38 hours, that's what it is in Australia at least. Wow, $30 per hour, that's basically an annual wage. You'll just spend your entire annual wage on the game. At about 10 million players, you'd probably need, let's say, 70 tokens to play for free. Which, quite frankly, 70 tokens staked to play for free, which isn't too bad. But this is one way you can kind of look at how many tokens you require. You look at the total annual spend, and if you're going for that annual amount, then basically you set up the annual spend, and this will tell you how many tokens you'll need to get there at 10 million players, 5 million players, or whatever it is you guys are looking for. Okay, so the other big change I made, I forgot about this, is blueprints. Now, I'm working on more content surrounding blueprints in the future. I know they're going to be a hot topic, and the more information we get from the Illuvium team, the better, obviously. But I've got some stuff in my head for how I'm going to organize this sort of thing. So get super excited. Again, if you don't want to miss out, make sure to subscribe. Also, make sure to follow my Twitter. I really appreciate it. But this one here, okay, is a bit harder to explain. Basically, I've taken the amount of Fortnite revenue Fortnite receives. I'm under the assumption here that Fortnite receives most of their revenue from in-game skins. They probably receive quite a bit from merchandise, but I think I might have actually separated that when I Googled it. Anyways, your calculator now, you can change the numbers how you like. But this is the amount of players they have. All I've done is I've used these two numbers, based it on the players I put up here, and I've created the amount of revenue that is going to go to skins in Illuvium. That is all I've done. Very simple. All I've done then is I've split them up based on the other land modifiers I have in my other section of the calculator. Okay, so I don't think it's going to be split exactly the same as land. Again, I'm going to be working on that more in the future. This is just so you guys can mess around with it to begin with. The last thing you should know is this blueprint margin. Basically, what this is actually looking at, I haven't set it up to look at the skins. I've had it set up to look at the blueprints. So the blueprint margin is on, if the skin would cost $30, then with the margin at 2, I'm saying that the blueprint would cost double. So if you're selling your blueprints, you're earning twice the amount the skin would be worth. And that is all I'm calculating, and I've added that to my maths. So let's jump down to the bottom here. I've got T1 through to T4. I'm not going to go through all them right now. I've got my custom, as you guys can see from before. And all we're looking at, so the other big modifier is the total percentage going to each land type. You can mess around with this how you want. I winged it a little bit. I did base it on some of my figures from previous videos. I think it could look like that, but we have gotten new information since then. So I'll be curating that. So definitely stay tuned for that. But I've just got a percentage split. And then I've got all the blueprint revenue and everything sitting inside as well. So you can see for all the players, you're looking at about 500 million coming from blueprints going to the landowners, as well as all the gas and fuel revenue and things like that as well. So you have all this, and in the end, you've actually got quite a bit of land. So you only need 0.1 land. That's probably a bad example. With a T2 land, you should really be able to play for free as a collector. Now, a collector was, even I forget these things sometimes. A collector was $30 every day. With the T2 land, if you consider a double modifier on blueprints, I would expect you'd be able to play the game for free if you spend only $30 every day, which amounts to a lot of money. It amounts to about 10K a year. So all of this coming to a head, okay? So this is how I've explained it. The charts are in there as well. I'm not going to go too much more in depth than that. But here's how I've looked at it. With about, if you spend about 10K in a year, A T2 land is almost enough to suffice for that, which means that, not financial advice, but kind of what I'm looking at here is a T2 land could net you 10, 11K in a year. I can't remember exactly how much it costs, but I don't think it's that much, especially not if you're using escrowed Illuvium, sILV 2. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope it's useful. I'm going to put the Excel sheet everywhere, probably in community content and Discord, if they let me post it there. Otherwise, I'll talk to some of the mods. Otherwise, hopefully I'll manage to leave a Google Drive link in the description down below as well. So definitely check that out. And yeah, if I can't figure out where to put it, I'll make a highlighted comment, okay? You guys will know where it is. It won't take that long to find it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Don't forget to tag me on Twitter when you're making things up and things like that so I can see it and get involved. I love to see all you guys communicating with me on Twitter and Discord and everywhere else. It's a lot of fun. I love it. All right. Thanks, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to submit your application for the EmergentDAO and join the Shiny Shards Guild if you want an awesome Illuvium family to hang out with. See ya. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and don't forget to watch this next video down there in the bottom left-hand... Wait. It's doing that thing again. Wait. It's happened again? Oh, crap. Happened again!